Welcome to Hotspot. My name is Ralph Martin and my partner,
Lance James, how are you?
I'm doing great. We always ask this.
We always ask. Because we know we're doing great, but it's good to say it, you know?
How are you doing?
Yes.
We hope you are well, safe, happy, healthy. Hope you're doing, CDC guidelines and social distancing, wearing masks.
Respecting others. You get the respect back when you respect others. It's very important.
Absolutely.
So
we just want everyone to be safe and healthy these days.
When you walk into this studio, we have right at the door, we're going to be taking your temperature, okay? We also have wipes. We also have
hand sanitizer. We have masks for people.
Mask if you need it. So we're definitely playing, not say playing the game may not be the right word, but we're definitely involved with making sure safety is number one.
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. We have a very nice air purification system. We have air coming in from the outside through our AC. Our AC.
Well, it's actually a heat pump, so it's heat and air conditioning, and that runs 24/7 all year long. The filters get changed.
So we're doing all that we need to do to keep you safe. Keep you safe.
The rest is up to everyone else. But we hope that you are all well.
Yes.
So we got a lot going on here, don't we?
Oh my God!
With all the stuff going on, and not only keeping this place safe, but reorganizing it, making things better, new boards and
new speakers, getting right up to date with the technology when it comes to headphones and using headphone monitors and things like that.
Video production,
bands coming in,
recording production.
It's just everything. So right now it's bands. When I'm saying band, people in the bands, they want to play. There's nowhere to play,
and you can't blame them.
Right.
I've been a musician for over 50 years, and I would love to play again, but circumstances are what they are, and everyone's got to be careful and be safe.
Right, and spiking again, so things are starting to shut down again. So the places that did have a little bit of entertainment, well, that's going to go away. So I have to say this. Our facility, we're able to have a band, safe distancing and so forth, bass player, drummer, piano player.
Well, generally we're talking small groups.
Small groups, say 5
to maybe 8 maximum.
Yeah, maximum, Spread them out really nicely. And,
we have the room.
And to come in to use the facility to rehearse. Okay. So there's stages. The basic thing is to rehearse. You just bring what you have and use what you have, and that's what you have. Then you can go through our smaller system, PA system, if you have a vocalist or a saxophone player that have to come through the microphone and so forth.
Right.
And then we can even step it up. You want to record. So, then that's another system we have where you can record what you're doing. Oh, you want to stream too? Oh.
Well, tell them about the band that we just had in here.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. There was a 6-piece group, and they wanted to emphasize, they had a grant, and they wanted to emphasize the drums. That was really how they got the grant to, what are drummers doing in a song in different eras. A jazz piece, a piece like a pop, or a piece jazz, I said jazz already, pop, R&B, so different genres of music. So what we were able to do was isolate the best we can, because what they wanted to do was hear everybody and not be so isolated where they couldn't hear.
Yeah, they wanted a live feeling with everything.
So that was tricky. We had
and then they also had a photographer on top of all that.
On top of that, who filmed, he had 3 cameras going.
Yep, and lights and everything. So that kind of, there were a lot of parameters and restrictions on what we could do and couldn't do. If it were just a recording, we'd isolate people more than we did. But they wanted a very live stage feeling, and that's what we gave them.
And that's what people from bands are calling us up about now. They want to use the facility to pretend like they're in a club.
Yeah.
And so we can set the studio up like you're in a club. without the alcohol, other than what's in the hand sanitizer. That's about it that will come in. But they would bring in tables. If we could, we'd try to supply tables. But I asked the band to bring their own little tables in. Then they have groups of 3 sitting at the table, maybe up to 10 people, maybe as in an audience.
That's about a max.
Yeah,
that's
about the max.
We've been trying to shoot for, between 4 and 8. 10 would have to be a lot of couples or a lot of trios.
Sitting together.
Couldn't be a lot of singles.
Right. So, and we set the stage up a little differently, where they're sitting in the reception area and facing that way, and we give them all their feeds they need. And there's buku lighting in here. We have plenty of stage lighting.
More than enough lighting, more than enough speakers,
sound,
more than enough room.
Right.
To do everything that needs to be done at this point.
Yeah, and if they want to live stream that, a little more expense, but we have a 4-camera system that our videographer uses for live streaming. If you want to go that way with your, I wouldn't call it a rehearsal at that point. You should, rehearsal's rehearsal. If you want to do streaming, you're actually doing songs.
You're actually doing a concert. It just happens to be on the internet.
Exactly.
You might have a small audience for you to get some feedback, but it's a concert. It's a live performance at that point, and being recorded.
Yes.
So that not only can you see it as it's happening, you can view it later too.
Right.
So that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Big deal. It's cutting edge technology, especially for larger bands. It's one thing if you're only doing a duet kind of a thing. But when you start getting into 4, 5, 6 pieces, then it's a lot different technology. And if you need more cameras,
especially we can go up to 4 cameras. So we have a switcher. So there's panning and switching for the soloists and panning in on hands and so forth going on. So it's really a big deal, and we do a pretty good job.
Yes, we are.
With that.
Yes,
so, call us about that, write us about that. If you're interested in that, we can give you more information, because that is where bands are going now.
Yep. But that's not the only thing we've got going on, is it?
Oh, God, we got so much. I just got through, I have one student that I give piano lessons to, and he had a recital.
Isn't that so awesome?
That's awesome. That's graduation, so to speak, into the next level.
Yep.
And we hired a videographer to come in and actually record his recital. We had 3 cameras. We had the switcher. We weren't streaming, but we're going to provide a link for his grandma, who actually paid for the session, and his grandfather and his parents. And he did three tunes. And the way we're doing is a montage. It's from when he started off as a little kid at the piano, just looking at it and banging it, to where he's moved along a progression of his age chronologically, and to where he is now, which he's a 6th grader, and he's playing fairly well. Of course, he has me as a piano teacher.
Of course, it all comes from the teacher. But that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. It shows you what can be done. We've also done podcasts for people.
That's right.
You did an interview with somebody.
Oh my God! Yeah, Florin Femitza, famous artist, and it's actually, I would say, pretty close to viral right now. He was talking about his innermost sensibilities and where he's at with COVID, how he's been affected by it, not being able to travel to Europe as much as he has in the past, and Paris is his hub, even though he lives in the United States. But he's able to bring his students, because he's a teacher here in the States, and he's able to bring his students to Paris every year.
Wow.
Except for this year.
So now he's had to learn how to do things locally.
Yes.
Which sometimes for artists, I don't know about you, but when something changes me up, sometimes that gets different creative juices flowing.
That's right.
That's when I hear something different, when I see something different, when circumstances change the way we set up or the way we have to play, you have to be a musician and improvise, and it sometimes comes out with something better than you thought it could
That's right. And I would say that's the silver lining with this COVID thing, if we can say, and I say it very respectfully because COVID is very serious, but it made us slow down.
Yeah,
it made us slow down and to rethink and to move carefully
and take stock of where we are, where we're going to go, what are we doing. You know, I know a lot of musicians are rethinking about, well, gee, now I really got time to woodshed, or I got trying to experiment or learn new software, learn another instrument, do something different.
Exactly. Learn more about the business because it's different.
It's very different.
You know, and there's some things that are unfair, and we can go on that in another podcast. But it's not like, you know, producing CDs like we used to do in the past and selling them. We can still do that. And I still recommend that. That's the old style. Now it's you know, you can get 14,000 hits on YouTube and not make a dime. You know?
Unfortunately, you could be on Spotify and Pandora and the rest of them and make pennies on the dollar.
Yes,
which is unfortunate, but things may change.
Yeah, things may change.
So we have to be prepared for that. You know that. You know, and this environment is not going to stay static. It never has.
Right.
You know, you and I have been in the business long enough to where we've seen changes from year to year to year over the years, and we know one thing is consistent about the music industry is that it changes.
It changes. That is the consistency. So the sticking together, staying true to your craft, learning as much as you can, because being independent is important. But I'm pushing where we set up a strong union. That's another podcast, but we would talk about that. That's setting up a strong union. Because the unions are out there for musicians. You just have to understand what they can do and what they're all about, and which ones you want to join. And so that's important. And because if we move, we got to move together. And
the union is just simply one way of doing it.
One way of doing it.
You know, and if the union actually had more members, it would be that much stronger.
Right.
And it would be able to help with some of the new legislation that is coming out.
Exactly. Because you really need someone who can go to Washington from time to time and talk to the legislatures.
All right, so we've talked about quite a bit of stuff today, haven't we?
Definitely. We covered a lot of information, and there's still lots of information to cover on the next podcast.
Yeah, we definitely got to do more of this again.
Yes.
Please subscribe, hit the notification button if you want to receive more podcasts from us. A lot of information in the description below. We would love to get an email from you or leave a comment. We read all the comments that ever come across our page. If you want to share it, please do. We'd be glad to have this go viral.
I come up with a new phrase. Can't do it unless you try. Nothing to it. Just got to do it.
Absolutely.
My name is Lance James.
My name is Ralph Martin.
Until next time.
This is Hotspot. Thank you.